On Friday, June 26th, a government spokesperson in Burkina Faso read a statement on national television. The government of Burkina Faso hereby informs the national and international community that it has decided to sever diplomatic relations with France with effect from today. France, the former colonial ruler, the country that governed Burkina Faso from 1896 until 1960, the country whose military has been present in the Sahel for 6 decades, the country that built the road, the schools, the currency system, gone, effective immediately. Here's what most coverage is getting wrong. This is not a surprise. This is not a sudden escalation. This is the final step in a 4-year process, and it follows the same script that Mali and Niger already ran. In 2022, Mali terminated its defense agreements with France. In January 2023, Burkina Faso expelled the French military. In July 2023, Niger expelled 1,500 French troops. Now, June 2026, Burkina Faso severs diplomatic relations entirely. 3 countries, 1 pattern, 4 years, all pointing in the same direction. The question is not what happened. The question is what it means. Captain Ibrahim Traoré is 34 years old. He seized power in Burkina Faso in a coup in September 2022. He is part of a generation of African military leaders who built their political identity entirely around one idea: anti-French sovereignty. He expelled the French military in January 2023. He banned French media. He urged other African nations to abandon their ties with France. He aligned Burkina Faso with Russia, Turkey, and China. And on Friday, he completed the set. The government accused France of neo-colonial ambitions, of active support for subversive networks and the terrorists who are plunging our country and the Sahel into mourning. France called the decision hostile and baseless and described it as showing the troubling drift of the Burkinabe authorities. Both sides are saying the other one created this. That dispute may be permanently unresolvable, but there is one thing we can assess clearly. The security situation in Burkina Faso has not improved since France was expelled. Not better. Not the same. Worse. 2023 was the deadliest year on record in the Sahel. 2024 was worse than 2023. The jihadist groups France was fighting, Al-Qaeda's JNIM and Islamic State Sahel province, are still operating, still expanding, still killing civilians. The French model failed, the post-French model is also failing, and the civilians of Burkina Faso are caught in the middle of a geopolitical argument they had no vote on. Now here is what's actually happening to the power vacuum France left behind. Russia moved in first. The Wagner Group, now rebranded as Africa Corps under the Russian Defense Ministry, deployed roughly 1,000 fighters to Mali. Advisors went to Burkina Faso and Niger. China followed with investment: $600 million in Mali, $700 million in Niger, primarily in mining, oil, and nuclear energy. Turkey supplied Bayraktar drones. Iran is expanding diplomatic ties. This is what sovereignty looks like in practice. France left. Russia arrived. China arrived. Turkey arrived. The difference between Western neo-colonialism and this new arrangement is not yet clear to the civilians living in villages being attacked by jihadists. Here is the skeptic's challenge. Traoré's government has dissolved political parties, seized their assets. His military has been accused of the ethnic cleansing of Fulani civilians, war crimes and crimes against humanity, according to Human Rights Watch. Anti-France sentiment in Burkina Faso is genuine. The colonial history is real. The grievances are legitimate. But here is what expelling France also achieves domestically. It removes the most vocal external critic of the junta's human rights record. That is a political benefit for Traoré that has nothing to do with sovereignty and everything to do with self-preservation. Both things can be true. The anti-colonial grievance can be real, and the junta can be exploiting it for political cover simultaneously. Now for the Anglosphere connection nobody is making. The United States was expelled from all 3 AES nations by 2025. This included the closure of the $110 million drone facility in Niger, one of the most strategically significant counter-terrorism bases in Africa. Australia and New Zealand have no direct military presence in the Sahel, but they do have Five Eyes intelligence relationships with the United States and United Kingdom. The UK has mining interests across West Africa. Canada has significant diaspora and development connections. When the Western security architecture collapses in a region, and the Sahel security architecture has now collapsed, the consequences ripple outward. Migration routes, resource supply chains, jihadist network expansion. These don't respect Five Eyes boundaries. The central question isn't whether France deserved to be expelled. The central question is whether anyone, France, Russia, China, the AES itself, has a plan that actually stops people dying. And right now, the honest answer is no. Burkina Faso has made a sovereignty choice. Whether that choice makes its people safer is a different question. And it's the only question that actually matters. I'm the Anglosphere Report. 5 countries, 1 truth, no party line. Tell me in the comments, is this African independence finally becoming real? Or is this one colonial power being replaced by others? See you next time.